Appreciate you. Salagi. You good. Hey, Shalom, Israel. You're on live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer Ward from Memphis, Tennessee, holding down the class. Tonight, we are live during the closing of the feast, during the Day of Tabernacles. I'm saying that's the Day of Tabernacles. The Day of Atonement. Day of Atonement in Hebrew known as Hayawam Kaparium. It is a day for the Most High proclaimed for Israel to afflict their souls or to fast for 24 hours. Tonight we can go over what it exactly means to afflict your soul and what the purpose of the Day of Atonement is for the children of Israel. And as we discuss the Day of Atonement today, I want for everybody to reflect and think about what it is they just accomplished in the past 24 hours, what it is that they learned about themselves, and how they can utilize that knowledge to project themselves forward for the rest of their lives and being able to conquer their flesh. As you can see, this ain't going to be the usual class you're used to because I'm stuffing my face, but I have no choice right now. I got to get this food in me. Or else there would be no class. So, y'all bear with me while I bear with y'all. Get this food in us and we go ahead and get this understanding of the Lord. All right. So again, we are here at the closing of the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement is a one-day fast required from the Most High for all the children of Israel. You can find it in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verses 26 down to verses 28 or 29. I'll read it. Leviticus 23 says, 23 and 26, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and you shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And ye shall do no work in the same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. Now, the first thing we have to understand is what is an atonement. You understand the spirit behind this day and what it is the Lord required from us. We got to get an understanding of what an atonement is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get atonement out of the Webster's dictionary after I take this bite. All right. So this is the definition of atonement. Atonement is defined as reparations for an offense or an injury. Everybody understands? Atonement is reparation for an offense or an injury. So what does that mean? An atonement is like a repayment. It's like a correcting a wrong that has been done or fixing a mistake that was made. Everybody understand? Stands. Young man. Not when you pay somebody in the game, but when you pay somebody something you owe. That's an atonement. Everybody understands? So what is an atonement before the Lord? What will we say? You make it up to God. What do you owe the Most High? What do we all owe the Most High? Sis. We owe him our life, yes. But that's not what he's asking for in this instance. Sis. Obedience. We owe the Most High our obedience. Right? So if obedience is what we owe the Most High, what would we need to make an atonement for? Come on with it. For disobedience. You understand? An atonement is a repayment for disobedience. And that is what the Day of Atonement is all about. It is about giving the Most High what you owe him because Salaki. If I could, somebody could let the brother in downstairs. I don't know if the door locked or not. The atonement is because is to ask the Most High to forgive you or to repay the Most High for what you haven't done. Everybody understands? So the purpose of the Day of Atonement is for every individual person to suffer so that the Most High may excuse you for any wrong that you may have done. So the Day of Atonement is a fast where we afflict our souls for the sole purpose of the Lord seeing that we can obey him and do what he told us to do, so that he'll forgive us for anything that we didn't, for any time that we didn't obey him. Everybody understands? And it was very important for the Most High to establish this with Israel. Why? Why was it important for him to give Israel a Day of Atonement? Because for a lot of us, in times when we sin against the Lord, or in times when we do things we're not supposed to do, the hardest thing for you to do is to go and acknowledge it. Is to go and say, I did this horrible thing. All of us have a closet, so to speak. Or we all have those alone moments where, it's just us and the Most High. The Day of Atonement is for that. It's for the things that you've done that nobody saw. The mistakes that you made that not even you want to acknowledge. Or the things that you've done, and hell, you didn't know any way that you could make it right. The Day of Atonement was the time for us to suffer for those things. Everybody understand? What's also heavy in the scriptures, the Lord said that anyone amongst the children of Israel who would not afflict their souls, they would be cut off. So participating in this fast is a very unique bond that those of us that are in the truth have with the Most High that no one outside of us has. And over the years, because of the lies of religion, because of the misinformation that's been given to us by our oppressors, most of our people don't even know of the Day of Atonement. Everybody understands? In the Muslim mosque, they celebrate something called Ramadan. What is Ramadan? Ramadan is a Muslim fast where they only fast during the hours when the sun is up. But once the sun sets, they can eat whatever the hell they want to eat. In the Christian church, they have that thing they call Lent. which isn't a true fast from the Lord, but it's something that Christians have done to make themselves feel comfortable about sacrificing something in their life. That's not what the Lord called for. Everybody understand? We get Mark chapter 7, verse 6. Mark chapter 7 and 6. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat. The brothers tuning in. How much Shema Thumba Shem Yahweh shout to the sisters tuning in. Again, we just concluded the Day of Atonement. That's why y'all gonna see me eating on this camera. Y'all gonna have to deal with it. But I gotta get this nourishment in me. And we're talking about what it means, what the Day of Atonement, the purpose of it. What was it for? What did the Lord require, and why did we give it to him? All right, so Mark chapter 7, verse 6 says, he answered and said unto them, well have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites. As it is written, these people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teachings for doctrines, the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own tradition. Everybody understands? And these are the words of our King Yahushua Mashiach, who the world calls Jesus Christ, chastising the religious leaders during his day. Why? Because they upheld man-made traditions and did not acknowledge what was established by the Most High. During the days when Christ was on the earth, they celebrated Ramadan and Lent and these different things that had nothing to do with God. And they called themselves honoring God and doing that. Christ was letting it be known, man, y'all dishonor the Most High. You say you love him with your mouth, but you don't do nothing he said to do. Giving up 24 hours of food and water is an honorable thing to do. Giving up 24 hours of food and water is a holy thing to do. Everybody understands. And it is something that only brothers and sisters that are in the truth and in understanding the knowledge of the Most High can say that they've done. Everybody understands? We got Isaiah chapter 58, verse 3. Okay, come up there. Nah. Is it locked? All right, yeah. So this is Isaiah chapter 58, verse 3. It says, wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Back during the time of Isaiah, the people called themselves fasting towards the Lord or doing something in the name of the Lord, the Most High. But in their so-called fast, they didn't honor the Lord the way he required. They did not afflict their souls the way that he demanded in order for them to atone for their sins. So even during that day, there was contentions about what was required from the Lord when it came to this fast. So I say all that to say that what we battle today with people who are not knowledgeable of the Bible or who don't know the scriptures and don't know the culture of the Most High is not anything new. This is something that's been going on for thousands of years. And this period of time on the earth is no different than any other in terms of you having very few who serve the Most High and do what he said to do, where you have so many others who claim to be serving him but have no understanding of what's required of them. To find yourselves on this day having completed this fast is a very honorable thing. Everybody understands? You have found yourself having afflicted your soul to make an atonement for your sins is an honorable thing. And that's what I wanted to be the teacher's class last night, but I wasn't able to make it up here. The Day of Atonement, man, is an opportunity for you to, I don't want to say clean the slate, but it's an opportunity for you to know within yourself that the Most High forgives you for what you've done. Whether you did it on purpose or you didn't accidentally or you fell weak, the Day of Atonement gives you a chance to show repentance. Here's the beautiful thing about the scriptures and understanding the Bible. When you get into the scriptures, you learn that everything that we what's the word I'm looking for? Everything that we always was taught was a feeling or an emotion. There's actually an action according to the Bible. Like when we think about love, all our lives, I'm in love, I'm in love. You ask somebody, what is love? And that little feeling you get inside, or somebody walk into the room and it brighten up that ain't love. That's just some goofy feeling you get. Some goofy Disney fairy tale thing you think of. You know what I'm saying? Love is how you treat someone, what you do concerning them. The Bible says that love is obeying the Most High, keeping His commandments. Well, how would I love? That's love of God. Well, how would I love someone who's close to me? I would deal with them according to the way God said you're supposed to deal with them. I would treat them the way God said you're supposed to treat someone. Everybody understands. That's love. People talk about belief. Oh man, I believe. Christianity, we was taught that all you got to do is believe that Jesus was the Son of God, accept Him into your heart. What does it mean you believe in Jesus? It's just saying you close your eyes and say, I believe God. No, belief is your action. You show that you believe in God. How? By doing what He said to do. You believe God, and you would do what He said to do. But if you say you believe God and you don't do what He said to do, you're a liar. That's what the Bible says. So guess what? How do you show that you're sorry? You tell somebody I'm sorry, or salakia in the Hebrew. That's not just a kind word that you say. That's not just an empty gesture to say I'm salakia or I'm sorry. You have to show that you're sorry. You have to show that you didn't, what I'm saying? You have to show something in order for it to be excused or in order to be forgiven. Everybody understands? God gave us a way to show that we were sorry. He gave us a way to make our salakia mean something. And that's what this fast. You afflict your soul. For no other reason would you ever go 24 hours without eating and drinking. Except for the Lord. You understand? And I think what all of us learned in this past day is that there's something inside of me that I didn't know was there before. If it was your first time ever doing a Day of Atonement, you learned today that there's something inside of you that you didn't even know was there. You go say to yourself, I'm not going to eat or drink all day. Somehow, I'm the most thirsty if I've ever been in my life. 30 minutes into telling myself I'm not going to eat or drink. And it's not just a normal thirst. It ain't just I'm going to die. I might die if I don't have something to drink. I'm coughing, choking. Ain't nothing happening. Ain't nothing but air in it. Ain't nothing but breathing in air. I'm coughing and choking, hackling, coughing up spit, phlegm coming up that wasn't even been there in a year. And that's your body trying to get you to give in. That's your body trying to get you to, to bow down. And we all had to fight it. We all had to go through it. But guess what it does? What it reveals to you is that there is something that's in your flesh. There is a voice there that you may not have recognized before. And now that you know it's there, now you're aware of the battle. Now you're aware of the fight that you're in. Now you can identify that thing that's inside of you that wants you to go against what it is that you determined to do. When you come into the truth, we all learn that there's things in our lives that we thought we had control over that we really didn't. For most of us, you come in the truth, it's smoking. Smoking in the world, anybody you go to in the world that smokes, what they tell you? Man, I quit today if I wanted to. Man, I stop right now. All right, stop then. Oh, nigga, nah, here you go. Nigga, you just said you can stop. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't smoking, it's drinking. Right. Hey, I put this bottle down. It ain't no thing, man. I can have fun without this drink. Okay, don't drink no more for 30 days. Oh, come on now. See what you talking about, man. Have me a drink. That's because you don't have no control. You don't have no discipline. But it feels good lying. It feels good to lie to. Man, I can do anything I want to do. I got control. The Day of Atonement makes you realize I really don't. You understand? Or the Day of Atonement makes you realize I am stronger than that thing that's inside of me. Here's what the Day of Atonement does for you. If you can go 24 hours without food or water, then what else can you go without? If you can resist your body having the things it absolutely needs in order to survive, then what else can you withhold from your body? Like the Day of Atonement it awakens you to the power that you have in your mind. Your mind is the most powerful tool that you have available to you because that is where you can fight legions of demons. That is where you can fight, the greatest fear that's ever been known to man. And your mind is where you can climb the highest mountain. You understand? With just the power of your thoughts. But without the Day of Atonement, how would you know? How would you know how powerful you were? How would you know how much strength you have in your mind if it wasn't for you afflicting your soul for the Lord? You understand? And for the people there's some people who may have lost this Day of Atonement. They may have lost that battle. Lord be with you. You understand? If you lost today, then you have got to know that you are in a world of hurt in that battle of life. You understand? And you have got to fast to get control. You're gonna have to get more discipline. You understand? For those of you who conquered this Day of Atonement, use it to propel you forward for the rest of your life and knowing that there are things that I can do if I just put my mind to it. Like the Most High give you the strength to overcome anything. Not only does he give you the strength, he give you the opportunity. The Lord required us to go to partake in this fast so that we could find the strength that we have, so that we could learn about ourselves, the thing that we may not have known before. Everybody understand? It's a glorious, righteous thing. So, let me keep going. Get Matthew chapter 16. Matthew chapter 6, verse 16. After this, I'm gonna give a couple examples in the scriptures of what we were of what we have able to have been accomplished in the history of our nation because of fasting. For the sister Waraka, I'm talking to the brothers and sisters who were able to participate in the fast. Now everybody knows anybody who's sick on life or death medication, any children, any elderly people, they were not to participate in the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement is for all healthy, able-bodied Israelites. Everybody understands? You someone who take medicine or got a medical condition, you understand that you are not to partake in the Day of Atonement. Everybody understands? But for those of us who are able, and those of us who know that we are able to participate, we know who we are. And those of us who weren't, we know who we are. More importantly, the Lord knows who we are. So don't anybody feel any kind of way about not having participated if you know that you weren't able to. All right? All right, but Matthew chapter 6, verse 16 says, moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head and wash thy face, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in heaven. But unto thy Father which is in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. Everybody understands? Any fast that you partake in is between you and the Most High. You cannot fast for someone else. Everybody understands? Meaning, this is what I mean by you cannot fast for someone else. You fasting isn't going to give another person strength. Fasting is for your strength. Everybody understand? Fasting is for you to draw closer to the Most High. You understand? Now, could you do that on someone's behalf if you have a mother who's sick or a significant other who's in danger or a child whose, life is in the balance, and you want to fast for the Lord to hear your prayers and to grant you your requests, you can do that. But that's between you and the Lord. Everybody understands? Every fast should be between you and the Most High. And because of that, Christ said, don't be out here trying to be seen because you fasting. You do your fast, but let it be between you and the Most High. That's why in UPK, we tell everybody, man, brush your teeth, man. Brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower. Don't be in there trying to get no sips. You know what I'm saying? Don't be in there goddamn trying to swallow the gargle in your between your toothbrushing. Don't be cheating. You understand? But don't appear to be fasting. This is not a day of sadness and a day of mourning. Day of Atonement is a day of conquering. It's a day of overcoming. It's a day of warfare. Hell, even you sisters, y'all got to go to war with some things too, particularly in that mind of y'all. Day of Atonement is good for y'all sisters because it gives you opportunity to tell that thing in your mind, shut up. You understand? I caught myself, didn't I? I had to catch myself, you understand? But that's what the Day of Atonement is good for. Get you some mind control over Debo. A lot of women don't know they got Debo in their head. You understand? Well, guess what? You better have mind control over Debo. When I come around, Debo better be quiet. But when I leave, he be talking again. You understand? That's the day, but the Day of Atonement to teach you to have some control. You understand? And that's really the relationship that a lot of us have with our flesh. Our flesh is a bully, man. I mean, come on, somebody trying to quit smoking, man. That thing is a absolute bully. Beat you down, make you feel weak, make you feel like trash. You go smoking and it talk to you. Ain't shit, nigga. You a hoe. You weak. Look at you, man of God. It did absolutely abuse you. Any sin does that to you. Anything that you got a problem with stopping, any weakness you have in your flesh, it'll be absolutely the most important thing in your life to have this thing that you're not supposed to have. This sin that you know you're not supposed to do. In your mind, the voice will be so loud telling you that you need this thing, telling you got to go do it. Everywhere you turn, it's presenting itself like, I'm right here. Come get me. Soon as you give in, that needing and that wanting feeling goes away, and all that's left is some voice laughing, teasing you, making fun of you, mocking you for giving in. You weak. You should be ashamed of yourself. You ain't no man of God. You ain't know what you a daughter of Zion. You ain't no daughter of nothing. You ain't shit. Because you can't do the simple thing that the Lord asked you to do. You know God gonna kill you for that. That's what's gonna happen next. You're gonna die. You deserve to die because you ain't shit anyway. You might as well go ahead and get high again. We high right now. Go get high again because you're gonna die anyway. You might as well go out the highest of the high. That thing in your mind that would not shut up until you gave in now becomes the thing that is going to torment you until you give in again or until you cry and you beg and you plead with the Lord for it to stop. Everybody understands? The Day of Atonement gives you a day to get a glimpse inside of what it looks like to conquer that thing. Everybody understands? All right. Let's get some examples of times in our history where fasting came into effect for the nation. Everybody understand? First thing I'm gonna do is you get 2 Samuel chapter 12. Second Samuel chapter 12. Second Samuel 12 and 15, all right? These are some instances where fasting has come into effect for Israelites in the Bible. Sister Warwick asks, why do we celebrate this day if Yahweh died for us already? Does it mean he hasn't? Okay, that's a good question. The Day of Atonement for all of Israel was separate than the sacrifices that the priest would make for the sin of the people. Everybody understands? So the Day of Atonement was something that was personal between you. It's a personal thing between you and the Most High. Everybody understands? And it's really for you to recognize that the Lord, you still have to deal with him. Everybody understands? You can get one over on all the people. You can fool all the people in life that you're some good, up, righteous, standing, moral person. But the Lord sees what you're doing when you're by yourself. He sees what you're doing. He sees what no one else sees. Everybody understands? And you best believe you could have the best reputation with the people. But if you have any blemish before God, then you have got to deal with him. Everybody understands? The Day of Atonement was established from the Most High for each of us to make sure that we were right between us and him. Everybody understands? Now, Christ dying, Christ was the sacrifice for the nation that the high priest would give every year. There was a sacrifice that the high priest would have to give every year on behalf of all the children of Israel. And if this sacrifice was accepted from the Lord, then it would be like, the Lord forgive us. If that sacrifice wasn't accepted, then it was a symbol that he's angry with us. We not in a good place as a nation. Everybody understands? Christ was the ultimate. Christ was the sacrifice that ended all of the sacrifices to the people on behalf of the people. Everybody understands? Meaning, after Christ's death, there was no more bloodshed that the Lord would respect. He would not respect the killing of any more goats or lambs, because Christ was the ultimate goat, the ultimate lamb. He was the sacrifice that ended all sacrifices. You understand? The point of the sacrifices from the beginning was to make the people see that somebody has to die. All of this sinning that y'all doing, God requires punishment. God requires something to hurt, some kind of pain. The whole purpose of the priest giving a sacrifice every year was for the people to feel the pain through that lamb that they were supposed to feel. Sacrifices was never like, oh man, I sinned, let me go ahead and give up a goat. Oh man, I sinned, let me go ahead and give up a lamb. Sacrifices was always rather, let me do this thing to honor the Lord. Let me give back to the Most High. Let me suffer. Let me suffer. Let me give this lamb to suffer so that the Lord doesn't make me to suffer. Shalom, Makim. Y'all come on in. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Most High had us to give the sacrifices for every year. He had us to give those sacrifices because he wanted us to feel the pain of losing something that was valuable to us. Everybody understand? Salaki Kamayala. Come on, get that other side for Ash. I think he might be coming through there. It might be on me. I think I might have told him to do it. Oh, so okay, never mind. Don't worry about it then. All right, so Christ died as that sacrifice for the nation. Christ died not just, okay, how can I put it? Christ's death was symbolic for the entire nation to return back to the Lord. Like Christ died so that the brother and the sister who grew up not knowing they were Israelite could learn the truth about him and then change their lives. Christ died for the brother or sister who maybe didn't know about the Day of Atonement to no longer be cut off from Israel. Like there were levels to being separated from the nation that Christ's death cleaned up. Christ's death made it so that back in and you reading the Bible, if there was a child born as a dwarf, you couldn't be an Israelite. We didn't accept no dwarves in Israel. Wasn't no you little 2-foot gremlin thing. We didn't accept you as an Israelite. You understand? If you was born, everybody know. I always use the DJ Paul example. DJ Paul with that little arm. DJ Paul could not have been the priest with that little arm. You take that little arm somewhere. You can't use that little arm in here. You understand? If you were born with any dysfunction, you were born deaf, born blind, that was looked at as you ain't whole. And so those people were kept out of service of God. They were kept out of the priesthood. They were kept away from the congregation. Christ died, made it so that all those people could be brought back to the Lord. If you was a man and you wasn't circumcised on the 8th day, let's say your mom was sick, dad was sick, you get circumcised on the 11th day, it don't matter. You ain't Israel. You was kicked out of the nation. If you missed the Passover, your family missed the Passover, and then went to a council and they found out that y'all didn't have a reason to miss the Passover, Y'all not Israel no more, man. Y'all out of the nation now. Those were the rules that were established in the law. Christ made it so that all those people who were disassociated with our nation could now come back. If they repented and learned the truth of Yahweh and walked in his footsteps, then between them and the Most High, they would be accepted. So that's what Christ's death symbolized. It was a greater sacrifice for the nation at large. The Day of Atonement is between you and the Most High. Everybody understands? Somebody had a question? Come on with it. What was the question? I was going to ask, was they allowed, since Christ died, was they allowed back? Yeah. Christ's death made it so that now you can't keep anybody from learning the truth of the Most High. You can't keep anybody from serving the Most High. You understand? Because who are you? What you gonna tell them? Under what authority you gonna stop somebody from obeying God? Well, guess what? There was a time when men felt like they had authority from God to tell them, nigga, you ain't one of us. I don't care who your daddy's daddy is. Guess what? Y'all wasn't at the Passover last year. Nigga, y'all not us no more. Y'all not family. Y'all discommunicated. You understand? That's how Israel treated one another back then, because that's all we knew. Christ came to say, man, y'all niggas crazy. Let them folks, they serving the Lord out there. They doing what the Most High said to do amongst the Gentiles. Go get them and bring them home. That was Christ's whole purpose, because there was a lot of niggas that was keeping the door shut on the kingdom. Christ came to open the doors to everybody who would hear the words of the prophets, that would come to that wedding, that party. Now they can all come and be and partake in the celebration.
Now, like even going forward, when Christ come back, the people like DJ Paul and the dwarves and stuff, they can do the service of the Lord now, or what?
Okay, when Christ come back, don't even think when Christ come back. There's going to come a time on this earth before Christ comes back where righteous men who have stood with the Most High are going to get the power that comes from righteousness. And with that power, the people who have faith, the people who are serving the Lord or trying to serve the Lord, they are going to be healed. Those people like DJ Paul exist on the earth right now for the sole purpose of us healing them when the time comes. So that when they get healed, everybody knows this is God's power. There are people on the earth who are born blind, just so that one day a man of God will come and say, open your eyes. And now they can see, and everybody knows these are the men of God. We living in a time now where there's all kinds of reports out there that our oppressor is manufacturing a famine. I'm going to tell y'all straight up right now. Food is about to get real scarce out here. The grocery store is going to start to shut down. The delivery is going to stop showing up, and people are going to be starving to death. Well, in that time, there are going to be men of God who make sure that little bit of flour and that little bit of oil that you got is going to make pancakes for the next 5 years. There's going to be men of God that make sure that these 3 little fish and these few loaves of bread is going to feed a whole classroom for the next 5 years. You understand? The healthcare industry right now is failing. Whatever experiment this whole healthcare system is, with all of this insurance BS and all of this, premiums and whatever evil that our oppressor has cooked up, there's gonna come a time where that person that can't get that surgery to get rid of their, diabetes, or can't get the surgery that's gonna take away the arthritis in their leg, men of God are gonna come and say, your arthritis is gone. Don't worry, that blood clot is gone away now. People gonna not be able to get to the doctor, but they're gonna start coming to some house in the middle of South Memphis or Midtown to get healed because they heard there was a man of God there. And only if they are the type of person who is seeking to serve God and seeking to do what he said to do, can they be healed. Everybody understand? The Bible tells us about all the people that Christ healed, right? But the Bible don't tell us about the people he didn't heal. There's a lot of people that couldn't be healed. Why? Why were there some people that couldn't be healed? What reason were people able to be healed? The people that Christ healed, what did they have that allowed them to be healed? Shekiah.
They believed in Christ.
They believed. What does that mean? They believed. How did you know they believed?
Because they tried to get healed from him.
Because they tried to get healed. Meaning, you read in the Bible, there are people that came from 5 cities away to come see this man because they knew that he got the power of God. Understand? Think of that for a second. Understand what Christ was dealing with, what Christ was when he was on the earth. He was a man that people traveled 5 cities away to go see with no money, these people didn't come paying him. These people didn't come with a lot of riches and a lot of wealth. These people came to see him, praying and believing that he would be able to help. You understand? Their travel was their faith. Their faith was in their travel. The Bible talks about a woman who had an issue of blood, meaning what? This woman was bleeding for many, many years. No, you can get it now. Okay, no sweat, no sweat. There was a woman who had an issue of blood, meaning this woman was bleeding for years. And she saw Christ walking, and she just touched the fringes on his garment. And she touched him, and he said, well, who touched me? I felt some virtue leave out of me, meaning he felt some healing power leave out of him. He said, who touched me, man? And the woman said, it was me. I knew if I could touch the hem of your garment that I would be healed. That was her faith. Her faith was to reach out and touch that garment. Why? Why did it require faith for her to reach out and touch Christ's garment? June.
Because she heard that he can heal.
She heard that he could heal, right? But why not just walk up to him and say, can you heal me? Why not just wait in line to get healed? Why did she go and touch his garment? And why was touching his garment such a big deal? This might be a complicated question, but let's see if y'all get it, sis. Yes, y'all answering the question correct. It's a little bit deeper than that. If y'all ever seen us at camp, what would happen if somebody tried to touch the speaker? What happens if you try to touch the speaker at camp? That's what her touching Christ's garment was like. Like, you gotta see the Bible for how what it really is. This woman touching Christ's garment wasn't just like, oh, Jesus, she touched his garment. It was like, but you get your hand chopped off. What the hell matter with you? The hell is wrong with you touching this man's garment? The men around Christ wasn't no joke. They were soldiers. They came to get Christ. Peter cut his ear off with a knife. That ain't no easy thing to do. You got to be surgical with a sword to cut her ear off. Well, this woman, knowing that about these men, she touched that nigga garment anyway. She grabbed them fringes anyway. Who the hell touching my fringes? What's going on? I'm sorry, Lord. I had to touch the fringes. I knew they was going to heal me. He looked at her like, man, that's a stone cold sister. That broad risk everything. You healed. Hell, that was her faith. Everybody understand? And that's what the Lord requires of all of us. You understand? But yeah, to answer the sister question, that's the difference between the Day of Atonement and the day of Christ's death. Christ's death was far more had far more implications for bringing the nation together than the Day of Atonement has for each of us individually, knowing the power that we have with God if we would just obey Him. Everybody understands? All right. So let's jump there. Come on, y'all.
Okay. We know Christ died for our sins, right? So you said the Day of Atonement is more personal between us and the Lord. So do that have something to do with the sin that we may have committed after there was no more sacrifice for sin?
No. That's a good question too. So it's a difference. Okay. The Day of Atonement is for your conscience to be clear between you and the Most High. You understand? Christ dying for us was more or less the opportunity now for us to be accepted by one another. The day of Christ dying was, I know you used to be a drug dealer, you used to be a murderer, you used to be a pimp, but now you've given your life to the Most High. Now you my brother. I'm gonna look past all those things in the past because of death, because of Christ dying. Christ gave every one of us an opportunity to become brand new, to start over, to get a clean slate. Everybody understands? Now, if after you receive that clean slate, you go on and you keep sinning, now I can say that nigga ain't no good. To hell with him, because he won't even stop doing the wrong he know to stop doing. That was what Christ died for. Christ died so that we could get brothers and sisters again. Christ died so that we could forgive one another again. You understand? The Day of Atonement is strictly between you and the Most High. The Day of Atonement is about the sins that you've done or the wrong that you may have done, and you didn't know no better. You was too weak, or you didn't know how to get counsel at that time, or you didn't know that what you was doing was wrong. The Day of Atonement is a silent between you and the Most High. Okay, I know you messed up all them times, but you know what? You showed me something today. You showed me you trying. You showed me you getting it right. The Day of Atonement is like the Lord is like you giving to the Most High a repayment for all the wrong you've done. And the Lord give you opportunity every year to repay him for all the wrong you've done by afflicting your soul on this day. Eventually, what will happen is you'll get tired of doing wrong. You'll get tired of being in here with us and we all righteous and you knowing, man, I'm fucking off. Excuse my language. When you get tired of that, when you get tired of suffering silently for your sins that you don't tell nobody about, then you'll take what you do on the Day of Atonement and you'll do it 3 times out the year. Instead of there being one Day of Atonement, you know what? I'm going to afflict my soul 4 times a year. Because that's how down bad I be. I'm going to afflict my soul 12 times a year because I want to get stronger. I want to get better. I don't want to wait to the Day of Atonement to conquer my flesh. I want to conquer my flesh every month. I want to conquer my flesh more often so I can get control of my body, so I can stop doing the things that I don't want to do. You'll take what you learned on the Day of Atonement and you'll apply it to more times in your life. That's how you get stronger. That's how you get better. But how would you know about that strength if you never did the Day of Atonement? The Day of Atonement is like a fat nigga going to the gym once a year. All year you fat, out of breath, going up and down the steps, inhale. And one day you go in the gym and get a power workout. You in that gym damn near dying. The next day you wake up, you sore as hell, but then you go up and down them steps and you feel a little bit better. You're like, damn, man, that workout wasn't so bad. That workout ain't even really kidding me. You know, I could work out again. But then you wait till the next year to work out again. You don't get your fat ass in that gym and work out and lose some weight. If you get in the gym more often, you might lose some weight. If you get in the gym more often, your physical sicknesses might go away. If you get in the gym more often, you might get a little stronger. That's the Day of Atonement for our spirit. You fast this one day and you realize, man, I got through it. It was rough. I thought I wasn't gonna make it. I knew I was gonna give in and have a snack. I knew I was gonna give it and bite into an apple. I just knew I was gonna give in and, man, drank that juice. But you know what? I didn't. I made it through. And all I had to do was keep telling myself that I could do it, man. It's only a few hours away. The sun a few hours away from going down. But damn, if I was able to give up food and water, what else can I give up? What else can I tell my body I don't need? I know my body want it, but what other battles can I win? You know what? I'm going to try this fasting thing again, man. I'm going to fast. This time, I'm going to fast from sex. I love me some sex. Love me some vagina. But you know what? I'm going to go. And guess what? That's going to be the hardest week ever in your life. Bro. All the women that been wanting you to knock it down, they're going to be calling in that week. You're going to have to stand with the Lord. You understand? Those wives you got, they go. You think you got it bad now. Try to tell them they can't get nothing for a week when they know you can give it to them. You're going to be, guess what? You got to fight them, though. You got to go to war with them. You understand? Just think of what you could accomplish if you started to apply the Day of Atonement to more things in your life. You know what I'm saying? Osh.
So is it like repaying the Lord or proving the point? See yourself for the Lord. Let me get some clarity on this.
Okay,
like,
it's repaying the Lord.
It's repaying.
It's I know I've effed up, and I know there's things I've done that maybe wasn't. There's things I know that the Lord wasn't pleased in me doing. So this Day of Atonement is for me to pay him back for whatever wrong I've done. I know that the Lord should have punished me way worse for some of the things I've done. Because he didn't, let me give him this day of me not eating and drinking. Let me give him this day of me suffering in the hopes that he'll take away.
Show the Lord, like, I do care.
I do care.
I can't do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And in conquering that day, it'll give you zeal to want to do it more. It'll make you say, "Man, God damn, look what." For all of us, this Day of Atonement was great for me because now I know that the rut that I've been in dealing with these physical ailments and things I got going on, I gotta stop making excuses. I gotta stop BSing and whining. I gotta get on my grind because if not, what's the point? What's the point of being a man of God and teaching these classes if a goddamn knee hurting ruin your life? I can't let some knee pain ruin my life. I got to go. If my knee ain't working, I got to get every other part of my body strong. And that's what I'm finna do because of this Day of Atonement. You know what I'm saying? And what it meant for you in your life, apply it. It's personal. It's for me. That's for me. But whatever you learned in this Day of Atonement, take it and run with it. And don't let it get away. Capture the moment now. Remember that feeling you have now and say, I want to feel this way all the time. I always want to feel like a winner. I always want to feel like a conqueror. I always want to feel like I overcame. And now you have a tool to add. Fasting. You would not have known of the power of fasting if it wasn't for the Day of Atonement. You would not have known how good it feels to go without something you absolutely need if it wasn't for the Day of Atonement. That's why the Lord gave it to us. And you showing the Lord, man, I'm still in this battle. I'm still in this fight. I might have slipped. I might have fallen, but guess what? I ain't gave up because I'm still here. I'm going through it. And the camaraderie that we all have on the Day of Atonement is amazing because we all going through it. You in there in your mind, I'm nigh unto death. But then you think about all the other brothers and sisters that's doing it. You think of the other people that's going through it. You think of everybody you're gonna see later. I can't be fronting like I did it and I didn't do it. No, I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? That camaraderie is what gets us through. It brings us together. Everybody understand? All right, so I'm just gonna give a few examples before we close out of the power of fasting and the way it was put to practice by some of our forefathers. All right. So 2 Samuel chapter 12, and this is verse 13. And this is David after the prophet Nathan came to him and exposed David for having committed adultery with Uriah's wife. Everybody's familiar with that story, right? Let's find out what transpired in this situation. 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 13. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan said unto David, the Lord also has put away thy sin, thou shalt not die. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme, the child also that is born unto thee shall surely die. So Nathan let David know, the Lord not going to kill you for this, but the Lord is going to kill that baby. Everybody understands? Come on with it. Nathan was a prophet then. If you go read 2 Samuel 12 and start at verse 1, Nathan came to David one day because the Lord had shown Nathan what David did. Which also should be a warning that nothing is done in darkness. Nothing you think is secret, somebody know. Especially right now with these cell phones. You get you a little sneaky link and you think you sneaky linking. Esau got all the records right there in your phone. Esau gonna pull it up. Yeah, on August 24th at 3:23 in the morning, you was on the Tinder app and you swiped right at 2:23 and 50 seconds. Then here's the whole conversation. She invited you to meet her out back of the Walgreens, and then you went and pulled up at 3:33. Here's your location. They got it all right there. Salakia, come on, Sakaya. Before the cell phones, like they had Martin Luther King transcripts tapped. That's what I'm saying. Listen. There's nothing is done in darkness anymore. If you think anything is done in darkness, you are a fool. Satan is convincing you of something that is not true. Having said that, don't do nothing in the darkness. Be able to stand for anything you do. Everybody understands. Whether it's whatever the case may be. Be able to stand for it. Everybody understands. Don't be ashamed. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? But don't be ashamed of nothing you do. I know full well the white man got all taps on all technology, right? Away from my wife for a month or two. Guess what? There's some business that got to get handled on that phone. If Esau listening or whatever, that's on him. Nasty bastard. But I'm going to handle my business. That's righteous. You know what I'm saying? But whatever Esau do, that's on him. But ain't nothing between me and my wife unrighteous, goddammit. Esau, that's on him. He got to get his issue. But guess what? You can't shame me with that. It says here that you text your wife, bloobity blue. You fucking right. The fuck? That's between me and my wife. What the hell? But if Esau paying attention and reading, that's on him. But I'm not sending that stuff on my phone thinking it's impossible for anybody to see it. Whatever, nasty bastards. If Esau tapping my phone, he gonna get a show, goddammit. And that the sin be on him. The sin ain't gonna be on me. It was supposed to be his private line. This is a secure connection. You know what I'm saying? It's a right, yeah. But Esau, nasty bastard. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna do what I got to do. My house is not gonna be in disorder because of Esau tapping the phone. Then the Esau tap. He want to see something, no sweat. You pervert. But I'm gonna do my. Well, I guess what? Ain't no shame. Ain't nothing in the darkness. They can go ahead and pull it. Bring me to trial. Pull up my cell phone. There's gonna be a whole lot of pimping going on. They gonna be like this. They might try to spin. He's a misogynist and he's a womanizer. Yeah, whatever. I'm a man of the Lord. Goddammit. Come on, Salakia. Come on, y'all. Man, what? He's something like I would have never thought to. Hey, Tom, did you see what he said to her? They gonna get some game, goddammit. But that's about it. But having said that, just don't do nothing under that in that same vein. You sneaking on them apps and meeting women and sending direction, and you think you go delete the history. That nigga, you ain't hid nothing. That shit's still there. Esau watched all of it, kept a record to shame you one day. Well, guess what? That's just Esau. Don't worry about Esau shaming you. The Lord got it. Imagine you get the judgment day and you stand before the Lord thinking you're gonna get anointed or get some reward. They say, give me the tape from September 22nd, 2022. You up there before the Lord like, huh? What tape? The Lord play from your memory, from your mind. The Lord play the whole incident out, and you like, you said you was here for what again, brother? You trying to get in the where? you better reference all them days of atonement. So, like you, Lord, I know I was wicked that time. I was down bad, but I was fighting. You know what I'm saying? You better be able to answer back. Don't get there on the day of judgment. Just let Satan blaze on you, and you just take it. You better defend yourself. Christ's going to defend you if you're righteous, but you better be ready to answer for all that you've done. Everybody understand? And that's what's most important. The most important thing is that we understand that one day we got to go before the Father. And the only thing that matters is what's between you and him. Don't live your life trying to impress me. Don't live your life trying to impress these other brothers and sisters. Live your life to impress the Most High. Live your life to impress Christ because they are the only ones that matter. Everybody understands? So Nathan came to David, told David what he did was wrong, told David, your son going to die. Everybody understands? 2 Samuel 12 and 15. And Nathan departed unto his house. And the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto David, and it was very sick. Verse 16, David therefore besought God for the child, and David fasted, and went in and lay all night upon the earth. And the elders of his house arose and went to him, but he would not, neither did he eat bread with them. And it came to pass on the 7th day that the child died. And the servants of David feared to tell him that the child was dead, for they said, behold, while the child was yet alive, we spake unto him, and he would not hearken unto our voice. How will he then vex himself if we tell him that the child is dead? Everybody understands? Nathan told David, this boy gonna die. And the boy got sick. David fasted. June.
We're talking about like the David and Goliath.
That David. The David that killed Goliath. This was later on in his life. David fasted. How long did David fast? 7 days. David laid on the floor, would not move, would not eat, would not talk, would not do anything for 7 days. Why? Because in this hurting of himself, he prayed the Lord would take the hurt from his son. Everybody understands? That's fasting. That's hurting yourself in hopes that the Lord will stop the pain. Everybody understands? Kapadazar.
I think you just answered my question. So if he knew that his child would die, was he trying to fast for that strength or just?
He was fasting for the child not to die. Oh. He was trying to change God's mind.
So he didn't know.
Go ahead.
So he didn't know that the child was gonna die. He was fasting.
He had faith that the Lord would not kill the child. He had faith that if he suffered, the child would not suffer. Don't kill the baby, Lord. Take me. I did the sin. I did the wrong. Don't take this baby. This baby ain't did nothing. Take it from me. He's sitting there, not eating, not drinking. Listen, we did one day. It's 7 days. That's hell on a human body. You ain't supposed to make it, according to science. You're supposed to die. David, that's what he wanted. Kill me rather than this baby. Take me, not the baby. In my suffering, in my pain, and me resisting my flesh, see how sorry I am. Wasn't enough for the Lord. The Lord required that baby for how great an evil that David did. But David was willing to give his life for the Lord to keep that baby alive. Everybody understand? That's fasting through faith. That's fasting in prayer.
Could you fast for somebody else, like in the world? So
here's the thing about that. So that's why I brought the scripture out. This was for a child who could not fast for himself. This was for a child who didn't, David trying to protect the innocent. Fasting for someone else only would work if they are able to fast, if they are willing to get right as well. Come on with it.
Like they got the demon. You trying to get a demon out of them. If you fast for them.
That's what I'm saying. They have to also be willing. Meaning someone who has faith, you and them fasting together, you fasting for them and they have faith, maybe could work. If they just a little weak. But they have to have faith. Christ never healed nobody that didn't have faith. Christ never healed nobody that said, F the Most High, or I ain't going to do what God say to do. Everybody Christ healed, they went through great lengths to try and get healed. Meaning they sacrificed to get healing. You cannot fast for someone who's not willing to sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? That's why this is important. There were people who the disciples tried to heal that they could not heal. But those people came to be healed. You can't go heal random people or heal people who aren't trying to be healed. You can only heal the people who are begging for healing. Come on with it.
General said that this morning on the show, it only happened through Christ told him that this type of demon or whatever can only be, brought out by
fasting and prayer. Yeah.
So that's why I was asking that question. I heard that this morning.
So that's what I'm saying. The person who is being healed, they have to want to be healed. If you can't, certain demons you can't cast out but through fasting and prayer. But the fasting and prayer has to be to the benefit of this person who's trying to be healed. You understand what I'm saying? Christ did not heal random people. These are people who came begging and pleading, please, I know you have the power. I know you can do it. Help, get this demon out. That's who Christ healed. But the people who stood off like, I don't know, maybe the nigga can heal some shit. I don't know. Let's see. They wasn't getting no healing.
Most of the time they did what Christ said afterwards.
The people who got healed,
no more type of shit.
They wouldn't sin no more. Meaning they were people who were willing to obey. They were willing to do what was necessary. And that's what you got to be careful of out here. Don't try to cast the demons out of somebody who don't want their demons to go. You got to cast the demons out of someone who's fighting their demons. How would you know they fighting their demons? They'd be up in here. They'd be trying to get right. They'd be saying, what I got to do? Damn, I got to give up this and that. Okay, that's rough, but they'd show up at least. The Lord is long suffering. The Bible, there's no time limit on when you got to get it right. But you got to be trying to get it right. Everybody understands? All right, so that's the situation with David. We all understood how fasting came into play there, right? Now let's go into the book of Esther. Let's get Esther chapter 4, verse 16. All right. Now, during the book of Esther, we celebrate the feast of Purim, right? We're going to be celebrating Purim in a few months, coming around about January, February, right? Now, anybody know what the Feast of Purim is about? Just a real quick summary of the Feast of Purim. Go ahead, Ash, you got it.
A little something I remember, like Esther stood up for the, for the brothers or whatever. She got in good with the king or whatever of the other nation and stood up for the rest of the people. Okay, what did she stand up for? What was going on that made her have to stand up? No problem. Kapataza.
They were trying to kill us during that time.
Okay. Come on, y'all.
Well, Esther was married to a heathen king, and she seduced him to not to kill the Israelites.
Okay, y'all on it. Y'all a little fuzzy though. I'm gonna make sure when I do the breakdown this year, it's extra clear. It was an Edomite named Haman who was in the court of the king of the Persians. And this Edomite hated this nigga Mordecai because Mordecai was an Israelite who wouldn't have bowed to no heathen. So Haman, being an Edomite, hating Israelites, went to the king and got favor from the king to be able to pass a law that would result in the death of all Israelites. When Mordecai found out about the law, about the power that Haman had gotten, Mordecai went to Esther and said, listen, the reason why you married this king was so that you could now come to save the nation. You're going to have to go to that king and plead with him to take away this order that this Edomite done passed so that the nation don't die. We're going to read Esther when Mordecai gave Esther the order, she was afraid and she was feared for her life. But this is what she said she required in order for her to be able to go through with it and for the Lord to be on our side. This is Esther chapter 4, verse 15. All right. Esther 4:15 says, then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. Everybody understand? This sister said, listen, I'm going to go before this king, but I need y'all strength. I need y'all, boldness. Pray 3 days for me. And guess what? Everybody in Shushan prayed for 3 days. I mean, they fasted for 3 days. No food, no water, day or night. And in that time of that fasting, in that time of them afflicting their souls, they're doing it so that the Lord will hear. They're doing it so that the Lord will see what they were willing to sacrifice to save all their lives. And in the end, the Lord was with them and with Esther, because when she went before the king received her well. Everybody understand? That's the power fasting has for us as a people. Come on, up.
So I can start, when you do this, don't you have to go to a priest though? Or like in her case, it just seemed like she was like, y'all can fast for me. Do you have to go to a priest every time or no?
Mordecai was a priest.
Okay.
That's the whole point of the book of Esther. Mordecai was a priest. Okay, don't think a priest, but Mordecai was a man of God. Okay. Today, if you want to fast for a purpose, you should get counsel, which is what trying to think of the scripture. Back in the days when anyone would inquire of the Lord, they would go to see a seer. The purpose of going to see the seer was, how do I fix this situation? How do I get better with this? Fasting ain't always the answer. Some things you just got to stop being stupid. You might be having a situation that you're trying to overcome and you think fasting going to do it, when this ain't a fasting situation, brother. You need to do this and do that. Or sister, no, you fasting ain't going to help your shoe habit. You have to, stop spending the money. Yeah. Put the money in the, go set up an automatic withdrawal to put the money in this account to where you don't even see it hit your bank. You ain't got to fast to do that. Just this will solve your money problems. Yeah. Some people don't know how to solve issues. That's why you should go get some counsel. Counsel will tell you, oh, brother, you're going to have to fast, doc. You're going to get stronger. You got to strengthen yourself against this thing, because right now you are being overrun. You're being conquered. You got to fast. This other thing, well, sis, you just got to make a direct deposit and have the money go here so you don't even see it. You can't spend what you don't see, right? Most High Christ. You ain't got to fast. Don't go afflict yourself for 3 days. You starving, and then after 3 days over, you can go buy the shoes anyway. You don't go blame. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to fast for this shoe habit. You just stop buying goddamn shoes. That's all. You know, the problem is you got too many shoes. Maybe if you go give away 8 of those boxes, then you'll realize, you know what, I don't need no new shoes because I just, you know what I'm saying? That's all. Everybody understands. With that, that's it. We're gonna clip the class. Clap it up, clap it up. So again, you know what I'm saying, for this Day of Atonement, man, we thank the Most High for giving us, you know what I'm saying, opportunity to show him our dedication and our loyalty. I mean, you brothers and sisters that endured, Most High in Christ be with you. You brothers and sisters that had the opportunity to you know what I'm saying, fast, don't sweat it. Maybe you'll be able to get it next year, but just take what you learned today, good or bad, and apply it to yourself, you know what I'm saying, for the rest of your life to be able to grow closer to the Most High and be more of the man and the woman he called you to be. And that's how we're going to get out of this captivity together. All right. With that, Imagine, Mr. Stan. Individual give one courtesy salute. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah brought the thumb. Yahweh Matah. Saw turn face the sisters. Sisters, one courtesy salute. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Shema Al-Tabah Shemi Al-Shah. Yahweh Matah. Class is